You know, I really love cats. Not just because they are cute, though, yeah, obviously that too, but because they feel wise, quiet, independent, full of pleasure, magical even. That's why I wanted to honor them today with a painting, while channeling a bit of cat energy. Welcome to Birdberry Sparks. Today we are gonna do some painting again while diving into the ancient and timeless mysteries of cats. There is something about cats, right? The way they move through the world, how they never rush, never apologize. They just exist, completely in their own energy. I really admire that. It's like they're always in tune with themselves. They don't second guess. They don't try to be liked. They don't perform for approval. They stretch with pleasure whenever they want. They nap in the middle of the day at any place. At the best places, actually, on the softest corner of the sofa, a stone wall warmed up by the sun, between the branches of a tree. I'd love to nap in spots like that too, in the middle of the day, unbothered by whatever hustle and bustle all those humans are up to. Cats just walk away from anything that feels wrong or unpleasant. Imagine we could just do that. Unpleasant family gathering? Bye-bye, I have some napping to do. Training work meeting? Nah, off to some flower sniffing in the sun. I'd love that. Maybe we can do that in our heads at least. A bit of daydreaming your way into a cat's world. And just be. That's also a kind of quiet wisdom we could all learn from. I mean, when's the last time you let yourself just be? Without an agenda, without trying to be productive, without worrying what someone else might think. Cats don't care. Maybe that's what makes them so deeply magnetic. There's a reason people have always seen cats as mysterious. In ancient Egypt, they were sacred. They were protectors of the home, especially from snakes and rats, but also protectors of the unseen. One of my favorite Egyptian cat goddesses is Bastet. She was all about protection, pleasure, music, home, sensuality. She was usually shown as a lioness or a house cat in full or just with a feline head. And she really held this mix of fierce and playful. During festivals in her honor, women would actually lift up their skirts, not in shame but in joy. Like just for the fun of it, to make people laugh, to ward off bad spirits and just to celebrate life and the body and all that wild feminine energy. Did you know that? It's like Bastet didn't just protect you, she reminded you to live, to enjoy yourself, to be bold, maybe a little cheeky, and totally free in your skin. In Norse mythology, the goddess Freya rode in a chariot pulled by two giant cats. That's so cool, I think. I really love it. She ruled over love, fertility and seidr, a kind of magical sight and knowing. Maybe a bit like psychic mediumship, actually. So there too, cats were linked to the sacred feminine, to sensuality and to second sight. In Japanese folklore, there's the maneki neko, the beckoning cat with one paw raised. You've probably seen it everywhere in shops and restaurants. It's a charm for luck, protection and prosperity. It originated from a legend where a cat saved a nobleman from lightning by waving him into safety. In Celtic tradition, there's the cat Seath. That's a fairy creature in cat form, all black with a white patch on its chest. It was believed to steal souls before burial if left unguarded. But it could also bless a home if properly honored during the festival of Samhain. Cats have always been these liminal beings. Not quite tame, not quite wild, not fully of this world maybe. Not just companions, but magical allies. Sometimes even thought to contain spirits of the dead or act as messengers to the other world. So it's no surprise they were also seen as the familiars of witches when Christianity started spreading through Europe. And that mystery turned to fear, unfortunately, especially toward black cats. The church wasn't too happy about all those old pagan beliefs, so anything that felt too pagan was turned to be evil or a witch. And cats, especially black ones, started getting a bad reputation. They became linked to witches and dark magic, seen as familiars or even witches in disguise themselves. This led to cats being hunted and killed in large numbers, which is kind of ironic because without enough cats around, rat populations exploded and may have made plagues worse. So those magical, mysterious creatures went from being divine and celebrated to symbols of fear and superstition. All because the old ways were being pushed aside. That's so stupid and horrible, not to mention all the women and men who were killed under the same circumstances. However, they couldn't make humans stop feeling that connection to cats. So even today, cats are still honored and loved and admired. And in folk magic and witchcraft traditions, and cultures all around the world actually, they are still said to protect against negative forces, to send spirits, and even to absorb bad energy in the home. And all that goes through my head while painting that picture right here. She's just sitting there watching. And that feels kind of rare, but sacred. Maybe that's why cats are so often found in temples, in folklore, and in old tales. They remind us to pause, to listen to our intuition, to observe before we act, to feel before we speak, to follow what we feel is right. They remind us that it's okay to be a little bit mysterious. They are soft and sharp at the same time, and honestly, I think a lot of us could use some of that energy. We are so trained to explain ourselves to soften our edges and just function. But cats, they soften when they choose to, and that choice is the point. There she is, present, peaceful, watching the day slip into dusk. And maybe there's an invitation for us too, to be a little more like her. So if you need a moment today to remember your own magic, maybe let this cat guide you. I want to offer you 11 affirmations inspired by cat energy. Choose yourself what speaks to you. Here they come. I honor my own rhythm. I give myself permission to rest whenever I feel a need. I trust what I feel. I do not owe anyone an explanation. I protect my peace. I soften when I choose to, and not before. My presence is powerful, even in silence. I move through the world with quiet confidence. I am wild, sensual, wise, and whole. I belong to myself. I embrace the pleasure of being alive. Thank you so much for hanging out today and stepping into the cat energy with me. If you love this kind of stuff, you may choose to like, subscribe, and comment. And down in the description I've added the affirmations so you can have a look again and choose one that feels just right for you. I'd love to hear which one resonates with you, so drop a comment. Oh, and please share your favorite cat stories with me. See you next time and have a wonderful cat-inspired day.